Ignore the softbox being in them.
Oh wow. Wow.
I think that look cool. Hi everybody, I hope you're well. Welcome to a very, very hot Derbyshire in the UK. In today's video, I'm meeting up with my friends Alana and Victor, and we're going to do a shoot by a waterfall. This is a waterfall I've been to twice before. Once last year with my friend Beth when I took these photographs, and earlier this year when I reviewed a VND filter set by Freewell. And it's a really beautiful waterfall. It's perfect for portraits. So it's long been on my to-do list to come back here, and rather than just shooting one person, as I also did when I met up with Beth here, to shoot two people. So it's gonna be really exciting. So I'm just on my way to meet Alana and Victor now, and let's see what we get. Hey everyone, so I am now at the waterfall with Alana and Victor. So firstly, thank you both so much for agreeing to do this. If you haven't done so already, then I would definitely recommend that you go and check Alana and Victor out on Instagram. They are really cool to follow. They go to loads of really cool, exciting places. So yeah, definitely go and give them a follow. This isn't quite as glamorous as some of the places they've been to recently, but we are in Derbyshire at the end of the day. So what I'm going to try and do first of all is just take a few shots in natural light, and then going to try and take some long exposures just to make the water go really smooth. And then at the end of the shoot, I'm going to do more long exposures but introduce an off-camera flash. So first of all, we're just going to take some shots in natural light. So these waterfalls are absolutely beautiful, but at the same time they are quite slippy to walk across. Now with these first photographs just being natural light, I'm not expecting anything amazing. I might just put you on this one if you don't mind, please. The reason I'm putting them there is because I'm going to stand about here and I want to just have a bit more of the waterfall in the shot. If I can be over here, because it's going to be very difficult for me to be on the other side of Alana and Victor just because it gets very deep there. So I'm on my Sony 35mm 1.8 lens at the moment, and I'm going to shoot wide open because it's a portrait and I often like to do that. Put my ISO on 400. Gorgeous. So these are really nice as they are. Nothing amazing about them just yet. So what I'm going to do is go to the 85mm. To be honest, I'm not expecting these to be anything too great at the moment, because for me this is all going to be about the long exposure, but we can do a good comparison by doing this between natural light and off-camera flash. Beautiful, amazing. So really, to be honest, that's probably about as good as we can get with natural light, which is nice, nothing wrong with them, but where these shots are really going to transform is when we introduce an off-camera flash. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to introduce the MagBox Pro 24 just in that area there. So let's just do that. Now I should just add, because we're in water and electronics and water don't go very well together, I've got a really heavy duty light stand. These are not the light stands that I take to weddings because they weigh a ton, but they also shouldn't blow over, which is what I want when I'm messing about with water. Yeah, that'll be good there. It's at times like this, got to be careful, it's very slippy, that the advantages of using the MagBox really become apparent, because we've got the light stand in the water. This is not the time where I want to be spending a long time trying to put up a softbox and mess about with poles. With the MagBox, it's literally a case obviously of putting in an AD200, open it up like that, and then we just obviously sit this onto the light stand, which is perfect. The light stand doesn't have a mag shoe on it at the moment, so I'll grab a mag shoe. Okay, we've got the mag shoe attached now. Now, as I've shown you before, like the MagBox is on upside down, which doesn't matter. This is where, again, so easy. Just pull out the diffusion panel and just run this zip round. And I want to position this so it's going to be nice and close to Alana and Victor. The closer the light source, the softer the light will be. So we're going to put that about there. Now, bear in mind, obviously, as you can see, this softbox is going to be in the composition. So I'm going to have to put my camera on a tripod, take a shot that I'm happy with of Alana and Victor, then I'm going to go into the composition, move the softbox out, then take another shot so that I can then composite them both together. That's going to be the quickest and easiest way to get rid of the softbox from the shot. So we're now going to put the camera on a tripod. I'll move you back a little bit more. Okay, so we now have the camera on a tripod. we've got our softbox in position. Alana and Victor look really good where they are. So first of all, I'm going to take a couple of test shots and then we'll start the posing. Let's put our ISO at 100 and let's put our aperture at 1.8. Yeah, that's looking really good now. Okay, I'm going to just keep you two as you are there, if that's all right. Just a couple of different poses for me. So really close again. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Now, if anything, if I'm being really picky here, the light isn't very contrasty. So I'm going to move the softbox. It's a bit more of an angle to Alana and Victor. You two are doing brilliant. So I'm just going to just move that about here. Okay, let's see what this gives us. Perfect. Just looking towards the light, Alana, if that's okay. That's it. Amazing. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move the softbox for a couple of shots a bit closer. I'm then not going to move my composition, and then I'm going to take it out of the shot. So I'm going to be a bit closer to you both. Put that about there. I'm going to actually do exactly what you've just been doing, please. Now, because of inverse square law, which I won't go into, it's very boring, but it basically means that the closer the light source, you need to drop your power, because the closer the light source, the more strong that light's going to be. So at the moment, we're on 132 power. I'm going to drop that to 128, which is the minimum power. And let's just see what happens this time. Really good, you two. Beautiful. Alana and Victor are amazing to work with. And what I'll do, I'll take 4 or 5 different shots here, and then I'll go and move the softbox. Let me just stress again, the reason, beautiful you two, the reason that I want to use the camera on a tripod like this is because when I go and move the softbox, it's going to be very, very easy to composite the two together. I probably could get rid of it fairly easily, perfect you two, fairly easily as it is, because the background is pretty consistent, but let's just do it the right way. So I'm going to move this out of the shot. You can just relax for a minute, and then we're going to get to the fun stuff where we use a ND filter. So ignore these. That's all we need. So now I can easily composite those photographs together. So that's just a simple shot using off-camera flash. But this is where I want to now get a bit more creative and do long exposures. Now I'm going to use a variable ND filter here. If you want to know more about what variable ND filters are, then please go and watch this video. And the Freewell filter set that I reviewed in that video is the filter set that I'm going to be using tonight. They're really good filtered, but I can only use them on one of 2 lenses that I own, either my 135mm or the 16 to 35mm. I'm going to start on my 135mm. Okay, so I'm now on the Sigma 135mm with the Freewell variable ND filter turned on. So I'm going to have to use a stronger flash power. I'm going to go from a 16 to a half power. That looks good. I'm even going to go to full power. So again, my settings here, the AD200 inside the MagBox is on full power. I'm at f1.8 at 100 ISO at 0.6 seconds. Beautiful, you two, hold it there. Perfect, really nice. I'm going to touch up the ISO to 160, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. They look really nice. They're long exposures on the Sigma 135. Now I'm going to use the 16 to 35mm and then get really wide shots of the waterfall with long exposure. So let's take this lens off. You two are doing brilliant. So what I'm trying to do here is look at this reflection and see what we can do with that. Might go a bit closer to them both as well. It's the reflection I'm looking for here. Can I get the reflection? Yes, I can get the reflection if I go here. So the softbox is really in the frame here, and it would look awful if we didn't do anything about it, but I will get rid of it after. As I always do in my shoots, I'm going from safe shots to more creative. And it's a good technique to do that because it just means that the further you go, you're not really risking not getting anything because you've got the safe shot, so whatever happens, you can leave with something cool. There is good light, orange light down here. If you can just see there. Just in that area there, really nice warm light. So that's what I'm going to get into this composition. So you two exactly as you are, if that's all right. So nice and close, just looking at each other. That's it, good. Exactly as you are. Yeah, you're amazing, that's perfect, just nice and still again. And then last one, I'm going to just move the softbox out of the frame again. I really don't like walking away from the camera, it feels very scary. Let's just move that here. Again, you can relax for this one, it's not going to count. I'm just going to wait for the water to go still again. And this is the shot I'm going to use to paint in where the softbox was. Perfect, that's another good shot we've got there. Right, we'll go for another one now. I'm going to put you back to standing up again if that's okay, please. The one issue I have with Alana and Victor being stood up is that this tripod doesn't go very tall. If I go here, then I'm going to get a bit higher. Let's see what this gives us. Ah, this will work. So I'm going to put this back into the shot. That's good, you two. Exactly as you are. I am the problem here because this tripod is not super solid. I can feel the camera moving when I'm taking the pictures. Problem is that the timer mode is 10 seconds, which is a long time. That's it, just nice and still. Just resting your head a little bit further back, Alana, if that's right. Chin up, that's it. Really cool. Now I'm going to take the MagBox out. And then I'm going to go and grab a veil. If you're watching this video, it means that this camera didn't fall. So that's a good thing. So again, my settings here, if I've not mentioned for a while, 0.8 second exposure, f2.8, ISO 200, and the MagBox is still on full power. So if it's okay, I'm going to go and grab a veil and ask you to do that same pose and then fling the veil if that's okay. Again, don't worry what happens to it. Should have mentioned as well that I'm on a 16mm focal length, so this lens is really wide, and that's what I want to really exaggerate that waterfall. Yeah, now this will be tricky for you both, so what we'll ask you to do, and this is the hard bit, stay relatively still if you're able to, but whilst that hand is moving. But so your heads are still if that's okay. It is not easy. So 3, 2, 1. That's good, but I just need to get maybe more of the veil in, that's my fault. Okay, we'll try that again. 3, 2, 1. Really good, you two. These are the ones. This is why when I do these shoots, start off with the more safe shots. I was going to use the word boring. I shouldn't use the word boring. Build up, and then that way you've always got something, but try and really finish with a flourish. So 3, 2, 1. Amazing. To give them half a chance, and I don't think it's them that's moving, it's me, because this tripod is not rock solid. So I'm going to go from 0.8 seconds to half a second, actually 0.4 seconds, and let's see what that gives us. And 3, 2, 1. Really good. Brilliant, you two. So you two can relax. I'm going to move this now out of the way. I'll show you in a second what we got. And now I need to, this is always the bit that you need to remember, to take the shot with no softbox in it before you move the camera. Ignore the splash, not counting. Amazing. And I should just say, if you're a member of my Patreon, I'm now going to show you me editing these photographs together in Photoshop. If you're not a member of my Patreon, here are my favourite shots from this shoot. So a massive, massive thank you to both Alana and Victor for being so amazing, coming out to this waterfall and risking their neck on these slippery rocks. We've not got back yet, so someone should be too soon, but they were both incredible. Go and check them out on Instagram. And as always, if you have any questions at all, please do let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.